to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting live from a shack on a hill in the Mossy Creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas. We got some fellow Arkansans here tonight. I hope you're learning how to cycle because it is cosmic conditions. The moon has turned dark again, and Mary Dusina is here with us tonight for Cosmic Conditions, July 14th, 2026. This is a live broadcast, truly authentic. That means no screen calls. We don't record stuff to make it look live. It is what it is. It's still old school. It's retro. It's nostalgic. It's what it's supposed to be. We're keeping on radio alive, too, at the same time. In fact, we're doing many things behind the scenes that nobody is aware of all at once, keeping lots of things alive. Mary, I got a feeling this is going to be a good one. The summer's setting in, and it's hot. You know it? So let us know what's going on. How you been?
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. And blessings to you, Joe, and the whole format of Fringe FM and Lighting the Void. I'm grateful, and it's always good at the seeding time. Celestially, every month, the new moons are seeding times, yes. Some are more externally focused, some are more internally focused. This one is the strongest new moon lunar dance of the entire year of 2026, and that's because the sign of Cancer, the ocean crab, is the one of the 12 zodiac signs that is governed by La Luna. So Cancer, the crab, you think about the moonlight over the ocean waves and the depths of the ocean, the high tides and low tides, tides out, tides in life. It has to do with how we feel sadness deeply when we're sitting at when we feel sad or we feel that we need to retreat. We're sitting on the sands of time at the beach, the whole Piscean energy, another water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water sign. So when we are wrapped up in our depths and we are sometimes struggling with our psychological patterns and to be or not to be, to repress or to get liberated. Some cycles in our life, we're ready to deal with it. Other cycles in our life and timelines, we're avoiding it, we're repressing it, we're resenting it, we're crying about it. So this is, in a sense, the high priestess in the tarot can be the Piscean ocean, the dolphins, Poseidon, Neptune, and Cancer, the crab, scurries sideways and goes backwards. Cancer doesn't let go easy, just like people like crab claws and crab legs. So it's not easy for Cancer to let go of a grip. So whatever's gripping us, whatever seems to have us in its grasp and where we feel a bit frustrated, insecure, looking for areas of our life to feel at home within ourselves, it always starts there. I was telling Joe that as we were sitting here meditating before we opened up the show, he said, what do you think what would you say about the theme of this show? And I said, It's required that we look within. It's required that we look within. So the windows to the soul, they say, are the eyes. The I am is what we need to be focused on right now. Cancer season isn't easy this year. It's the inner child. It's Cancer is matriarchal. It's grandmother, aunts, sisters, mother. You know, it's the whole thing of what we witnessed our mother could or could not do. Society loves to paint the portrait of what a perfect mother should do, should nurture and give us. And everybody I've talked to for decades has pluses or minuses with both mommy and daddy. Okay, so I'm not buying into, oh yeah, your childhood was so idyllic and your mother was perfect. A lot of mothers have emotional demands on them, and yes, they may have birthed a child, but that doesn't mean that their inner child, their little person, their childhood was all Hershey's Kisses by the time they were a taller adult and gave birth to a child. And we all have known stories of where a female was so young, it was like a child birthing a baby kind of a thing. So everything that's wrapped up to do with what we hope will be as a mother, what we hope that we can do, male or female, yin or yang, to be nurturing, to the people that we care about in the shelter and home base, that's Cancer the Crab. Where do we feel shelter from the storms of life? And when you've been at the beach and there's been even storms coming in on the ocean, many times when I sat there in the Gulf of Mexico, at sunset, twilight, going into a full moon or a new moon.
Oh, yeah.
And the new moon is when the moon is dark and you see the beautiful stars. There was never a time, no matter what was on my mind financially, personally, work I had to do, that time frame for me when it was sunset going into twilight, the tween times, as we call it in Earth Magic, the tween times are just before sunrise and just as sunset is happening, and then you see that first star. So that magical light dance of, it's about to be sunrise, that very contemplative period. And the silence, people can be chatting, having a drink at the beach, but then when the sun really starts to drop visually as you're looking at it, as it really starts to drop, oftentimes I would do a quiet kind of ceremonial practice within my feelings and my mind. I would unify them, and I'd say, as the sun slips below the horizon, so do the troubles or the concerns or the frustrations or the what about this and what about that. That's going to drop with the sun visually as I look at that. This is my open-eyed meditation. And it's said, as I'm watching the sunset, it's rising on the other side of the world. If I'm in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, and those different time zones, like England is 5 hours ahead of us, and Australia and New Zealand even more, and you get over into in the Middle East and the Asian countries are in a different time zone. So for me, when I would do that, it wasn't like I had to prepare myself for meditation or ceremony. I just sat there and got myself ready that no matter what, the dolphins were jumping or the people were walking by, sipping the nice little Chambord, when the sun was actually going to visually drop before that horizon line, that's when I said, I am liberated. I am one with the divine. All is now well with my soul. So this Cancerian supermoon, by the way, it's closest to Earth. It's the sun, our great star, and the moon, our innermost inner child, home base, and Mercury, retrograde right now in the sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon. So we can be crabby, and we can be clutchy, and we can wish we could hold on to some more things, and we're probably thinking about, I need to declutter, I need to release, this is probably the best astrological cycle I've witnessed in over 30 years for being able to par down, declutter, tithe it, give it away, bless somebody else with it, just, whatever you're not using. I just did a huge release of material items this week, blessed my nieces with it, things that were, collectibles from my parents with antique shops and everything, and a bunch of Halloween stuff for the nieces with their kids, that they can have fun with wigs and capes and witch hats and dog costumes. And to watch stuff that I had accumulated and protected and cleaned, the dog blankets, fuzzy blankets for winter coming up, just to watch the joy on their face to be able to have these great big bags of surprise, and no matter what stressors everybody has been going through, but the cost of things and the wars and the bombs going off over people's heads and the political divisiveness, I just don't think there's another cycle in 2026 that could be so much easier to do, that if we could give some of our extra things that we're not currently dependent on or using to bless other people. And because it's Cancer season, I decided it was going to be more home based and with family. A lot of people are moving. A lot of people are wanting to exit certain domestic situations or vortices because they just feel stifled there, or they're trying to get creative about how to freshen it up a little bit. The Cancerian Virgo dynamic, Venus is in Virgo, is always about, if you don't have a lot, just clean it. Just clean it. Find your favorite cleaner and just disinfect it and clean it, because the aftermath of that, Cancer is very domestic. Virgo wants it organized and neat and tidy and do the windowsills while you're at it, kind of a thing. So this is about, if you want your domestic home life to be better, respect what you've got right now, no matter how tiny cottage, no matter how much stuff you've had. Maybe it's overwhelming you. So the minus or the get your attention minuses of the dynamic of the fourth sign of the zodiac and the water sign of Cancer is how attached are we? How much of a people pleaser are we doing? What we didn't get or we felt we deserved from our parental dynamic and the drama theater of our childhood, has that created us to be overgivers or people pleasers or too defensive, too quick to be angry and react, or that reactive trigger? So what's going on right now is what can be very healing, somatic work. So swaying or journaling or really prioritizing dream images, meditation answers, and breath work. Oh my God, breath work, So, and I've had people literally tell me things like they took something of value, they took a favorite crystal and went and put it in nature. Another person went and literally buried, as a type of a ceremony, some of their crystals and spiritual things and oracle things, literally buried them in a sacred way to put it into the womb of Mother Earth. So it's kind of like the message in the bottle that you've heard about in the ocean. Here comes somebody's message and it comes on shore and you're like, oh my gosh. So it's unraveling where we feel so wound up. So the new moon in Cancer, and again, I'm going to say it's the most emotionally powerful new moon of this entire year of 2026. So Cancer the Crab, moon child, is the energies are going to get stirred. So we've got a recipe here. And so I've added in some ingredients, but what's getting stirred in this cosmic stew are any kind of issues, favorable, easy, difficult, entangled, with home, family, our emotional truths, and our deep inner need to feel nourished. Now, for some people, that can be like, oh my God, that was a wonderful key lime pie, thank you. Or a neighbor's sick or somebody, and you make them a meatloaf. That's kind of what we do in the South here. Or, the biscuits were so damn good the other day at the restaurant that it was just, that was a somatic, nurturing, wonderful moment that I had real butter and I had a Cracker Barrel biscuit. That was a big one for me. It was just like, I'm just going to bask in this moment. So these are the things that when the child's fussy and the mom needs a break and the dad's been working and he's been worried about the money and you've got your kid or the cousin or your kid's a teenager now. It's like, oh my God, please don't go rogue. Please don't hang out with the wrong people. Lord God, I don't want you to have to do a fight with addiction, all of it. Oh my God, will she get pregnant? Oh my God, who's he with? So that kind of stuff gets stirred on this kind of a new moon. And because it's a supermoon, and because Jupiter left Cancer and has just moved into Leo, which is the heart chakra, just since June 30th. So the supermoon the moon is pulling on us. Its energetic signature is physically closer to Mother Earth than usual. So every intention that we can set this morning, today, the next couple of days, that the new moon seeds out for 2 weeks until we get to our next. We'll have a full moon, and then we'll have the eclipsed new moon, the solar eclipse over August 11th and 12th. So that's going to be in Leo. So Leo is the sun. So now we have the sun in Cancer in the moon's home side. This is very feminine. This is very intimate. This is it's like your soul is speaking and your heart is listening. So we got to get out of our head. Even though Mars and Uranus are in Gemini, we need to do less mind screwing and chitter chatter and multitasking, and we need to sleep and we need to rest and we need to take a bath or we need to go sit by the creek. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's perfect. Everybody benefits from a hug. Yeah. When you hug your cat or your dog. Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one word for this super new moon, it would be the hug, the power of the hug. So this is the universe in mid-July of 2026, handing all of us a fresh start in this area of your life that you really feel it needs it the most. So tonight, and when you hear this, and I would just not say it's over with if you didn't do it tonight, absolutely not. It seeds tonight. Powerful times to set new intentions. So write it down, say it out loud, let yourself want it without any guilt or without just like, that can never happen for me, or it always happens for other people, not me, or I'm jealous, or I wish I had, no, or I don't have that. No, just write that affirmation down. I'm going to let myself want it without guilt, because what each of us plant under this trinity of the sun and the moon and Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer at this new moon literally is an energetic signature. It's a power surge to change everything. So like one of the affirmations I might suggest is, I welcome this fresh start. I welcome a fresh start with an open heart. I plant seeds of love and peace and abundance and emotional healing now. Everything I truly desire is already on its way to me, finding its way to me, and then just affirm that. And if it seems airy-fairy, oh, that's not blah, 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 that's not going to happen, that's just your head. That's just your head. And you might say you're basing that on when you were let down by other people. This Cancerian moonchild cycle we have to wake up in the adult part of us. We have to wake up and realize that maybe we're projecting, maybe we're expecting, maybe we're dumping on other people as we get to be adults. Maybe we're expecting them to fix us. Maybe we're expecting them to heal our fractures and our psychological brokenness and our wounds. This isn't that new moon. This is not that new moon. This is the strongest lunation to take the responsibility, myself, yourself, and say, I'm worth it, and I'm going to pay attention to my needs. I'm going to pay attention to redesigning the foundational structure of the I am that I am and who I am willing, testing intention, who I am willing now to arise and be. So when you can accept it on the inside, that's high magic. That's prayer affirmations moving into reality. When you can allow a divine alignment, when you can grant permission from the head, from the heart, with your will, when you can grant permission, and at first it might just seem like, I'm just going to keep saying these affirmations, I'm just going to keep setting these intentions, I'm just going to keep writing it down, been there, done that you almost have to just shut your head up just so you can do the homework kind of a thing. That might be a certain level, and then you might just finish with, thank you, God, or I accept, I receive. You might put your hands around your belly button where your leash, your birthing leash was cut. The fuel supply, if you will, was coming from that biological unit that carried you. So our leash was cut from an aquatic world, from a fluid world inside our mother's body, and the nutrients of her and the garden of life was coming through that umbilical cord. That gets cut, we take in air, and it's a brand new existence that we have to learn the language and deal with people. And if you don't think there's not stress, and if you don't think, even though tall adult people were like, what a pretty baby, and the baby's like, what the heck? We don't even know the line. The baby's like, what? It's that primal thing. I don't know how to, I can't move. How do I get food? What happened here? So we come in with a somatic experience of fight or flight or fawn, or I'm just going to escape and sleep. I don't want to deal with this. We all have different techniques of where we try to get out of the quagmire or make the mystery palatable and more pleasant instead of everything being scary clown circus. So yes, with Mercury retrograde, this is an especially strong memory lane, nostalgic, people popping up, poking the tiger in the cage a little bit like, can you hear me now? Do you miss me? Want to have another chance? Maybe I can hurt you again. Maybe we can mend fences. And resolving regrets, that can happen with this. So it's not part of it with Mars in Gemini and Uranus, the agent of change in Gemini. Part of it is true, Joe, about it's all how we put it in our head. It's all how are we letting it rent too much space for free in our thoughts, in our mind? Are we repeating more of our frustrations or our anger inner life, inner talk, inner conversations, is that got more of a hold on us? What's got a hold on us? That's Cancer the Crab. What's leashing us? Where are we entangled in the web? A spider web can be beautiful. The dew on it in the morning, absolutely magical. But you'll feel it if you walk through a spider web. And trust me, you'll be going, oh, God, did the spider get out of the web before I walked through it? And, oh, is it on me? So was that a black widow? Is that a brown recluse? So especially when you're in the mountains. So there's something about the difference between the mystery of the insect of a spider versus like the mosquito or the tick. I mean, those are like, oh, those are vampires. But the spider is like, you walked into my house, buddy, so I might be in your hair and I might get in your shirt and I might be being a little visitor, you not know it, and I might just get in your sheets. I don't say that to scare you. I'm talking about when it comes to hidden mysteries. This is that moon here now in the 7th month of 2026. This new moon falls in the 7th month of July. And it's telling us, are you resting? Is your sleep cycle, your circadian rhythms, are they off? I mean, and what's in the news today? China's some kind of big international China space station. If you go to spaceweather.com, is flying all over. It would be visible, in the U.S. tonight because of the new moon and the stars. And CERN shut down, and there is a proposal now for the president, I think, just signed into daylight savings time. We're not going to change the clocks anymore. Daylight savings time is going to be, that's it.
Wait,
and so it's almost like light.
Wait. Not to interrupt you, but if that happens, is it going to get dark later or sooner?
Let's see, the statement is spring forward, fall back. So about the time you get used to that autumn cycle here in the Northern Hemisphere, the standard time is not messing with it at all. And I believe in spring, when we go forward, I think we lose an hour, I think.
Yeah, I like it when it gets dark later, not at 5 o'clock. So
that's the one that I think, that's the one that's everybody's beginning to talk about online. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. It should be the states' rights and all that. But apparently there's some kind of national, it came up once before, got voted down by maybe another president. But that's all over the news today as far as a time change, so it's like, it's almost like Alice going down the rabbit hole. It's almost like, remember the Mad Hatter? He's so Gemini.
Yeah,
if you look at that old story of Alice.
I'm all for it. Don't you think all the time switching is more Mad Hatter than just leaving it?
Me too. Oh, I don't like it. It's like pick one and I'll get used to it. Because about the time you get used to it, it changes again. And that's what I think disturbs people. Psychologically, it's like, oh, no. And so now you got half of the people griping, oh, no, now that it's daylight savings time, it'll be light longer during the day as we're, afternoon going into evening, but kids are going to be going to the bus stop and school in the dark kind of a thing. So it's you've got another divided camp on that. I'm like you. I don't mind more light when people are up and about. Yeah, they'll be all right. So the other thing that they're talking about is all the AI. I mean, I've seen like 5 different astrologers use the same AI generated symbol of this Andre Barbeau's, the basket, Barbeau's basket kind of a thing. And the bottom line of that, because it's all over the internet and Grok and AI and all of that, it is rare. It is rare. And other names for it are known as angel wings, which I like, or the cradle, or a cup. You and I know about that one in tarot. Cancer is a water sign, and the water sign element in the tarot is the cups. So it is rare that there's the presence of so many of the slower moving outer planets, as they call them, Uranus and Neptune and Saturn and Pluto, making these opening sextiles and trines. That's just 120 degrees and 60 degrees, and in the celestial mechanics, those are the good ones. That's the easier star geometry. So then by the 26th, Mercury goes direct on the 23rd, and then over the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, there's this big, bold opposition of Jupiter and Leo, which is known as the most expansive and regal planet. Jupiter is the hotshot god in Greek mythology, aka Zeus, and it's going to oppose Pluto, which is Hades, Hades, in mythological tales. Pluto, the lord of the underworld. And what's coming up at this particular new moon is the mother, Demeter, getting pissed that Hades, aka Pluto, snatched Persephone because he thought she was attractive and pulled her down into the underworld. So Demeter she just couldn't get over it. It was the scorned mother, and how dare you, Persephone, my daughter didn't make that choice. And so Pluto, aka Hades, intervention was involved with Zeus, aka Jupiter, and so Hades, Pluto, had to return her for one whole season. Because when it happened, it was winter all the time and all that. So if you look up the Greek mythological tale, you'll get that. So there's Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, by sign. Aries, the first cardinal sign of fire, is getting along very nicely with Jupiter in the second fire sign of Leo. And the Aries energy gets along nicely with Saturn in Aries. And with this Pluto in Aquarius is getting along with the other A team. Aquarius and Aries get along, but we have a square coming at this Cancerian, that's cardinal water. Aries is cardinal fire. So it's steamy. There could be healing from allowing yourself to have a waterfall of tears, and you've held it back for so long. And now you're saying, I thought I was over that, and I really needed to have another episode, not necessarily involving that ex or that scenario, but I needed to have an episode with me where I just damn released it again. Or maybe I finally released it. That's what I mean by somatic. So don't think there's something too stressed out with you if you have a dream of a past encounter.
Ooh.
Or the ex shows up in a dream and it's actually kind of an educational dream. Like it's like your body is sleeping and restoring its organs, but you're busy in the astral or the spirit world. Cancer,
I was going to say that. When you were saying that earlier, my dreams have been off the hook lately.
Yeah. This is the strongest. Pisces and Cancer are the strongest dream cycles. And I've found, having been born with Mercury in retrograde, I've found that Mercury retrograde cycles are really cool for dream work and more effective when we actually set our ass down and do a meditation type of exercise. Actually set that intention and follow through. Too many people are thinking and they're moving past things so much. We say we want to feel rich emotions and sensuality, but we're so in our heads. We're so in our heads, and we chase after that retreat or that seminar, and that's fine. But what kind of dedication, what you ever learned in that seminar or that YouTube or that book you read or the reading you had, how are you continuing to apply that divinational medicine, that clairvoyant message, those divine insights? How are you taking that and applying it yourself, to yourself, for yourself in your life? So you don't want to rely on just the astrology or just the psychic or just, you can read a Bible verse and it can inspire you in that moment. Will you apply it and work with it?
I'll say this for all the Cancers out there real quick too. It's easy to get locked into feeling things and what Mary's talking about, right? Like you get locked into looking at the stars and you're in awe and mystery. Like all of this stuff is wonderful to hear, listen to, and learn and take in. But when you go out and apply it, it seems like it's going to be effort like everything else. But I will say this, Mary, real quick, like once you start applying it, your life becomes something like entirely different. It's an adventure. It's not 100%. A prison planet or whatever that you're feeling. It's an adventure. You're in a story now. So don't be afraid to apply it. It's not going to be just something else that you have to put energy in that's not going to work out for you. It's not going to work out like that.
It's why you went to the therapist in the first place. It's why you journal the dream. It's why you get your every 6 months astrological weather forecast. It's why when I'm doing readings with clients, either clairvoyantly or, astrologically, it's like, record this, make some key point notes on this, watch yourself as this goes forward now, watch how you yourself are the master of your fate, watch how you are prophecy in motion, watch how you have, even biblically, God gives us free will, God gives us free choice, you can go light, you can go dark. Same thing if you've invested your time and money in having therapy or an oracle session or an astrological reading, or I just need some divine intuitive counseling, yeah, you're going to get some really specific answers. There's going to be confirmations, but then what will you do with it? What are you willing to do with it to get, if you will, more bang for your buck from that reading or that good therapist, or what the nutritionist told you, and what the herbs, you buy the herbs. I can't tell you how many times when I was helping some friends out working at a health food store back in the 90s, and the owners would say, people come in here and spend $200 and $300, and the first question I ask them when they come back in is, did you take any of it? Yeah, I need to do that. I mean, they're not bitching about what they spent, but they just haven't done the follow through. So don't overwhelm yourself. Kind of notice what seems to be inhibiting you or frustrating you, or kind of in your emotional body, in your feeling world. This isn't a head game right now. That was Gemini last month, and the heart's going to get involved in drama and trusting yourself and expanding your willpower and strutting your stuff in a good way. And I got this. And creative courage, that's Leo stuff. That's coming up in an eclipse. So right now it's about how do I baptize myself? How do I resurrect? How do I, we talked about the burning bush. This is now, I'm going into the waters. I'm going into, the ocean has both death and life in it. There things have died, things are being born in the ocean, the salt waters, the embryonic DNA, RNA magic that goes all around Mother Earth. So this grandmother moon phase is saying to us, there are celestial kisses for you. This is the Arizona cowboy sky. You may see UFOs. You may travel outside your body. You may see, and I'm not projecting this, you may have a message from a loved one in a dream that's in spirit or multidimensional. You may find ways to recharge yourself. A lot of people are getting into tuning forks, red light therapy, blue light therapy. It's like we need to feel it. It's got to come alive for us, in touch, or where we go, that made a difference. A lot of people are doing different types of mushroom experiences. They're wanting to get into the plant therapy healing, not just to hallucinate or get high, but to really get in there and grow those telomeres and really break the haunted episodes that, as much as we say in my mind, I'm not going to let that bother me anymore, and I'm not going to spend any more time. That's
still
mine. There. Yeah, and then the inner child is like, have you released it yet? So I'm using deliberate words like resurrection, ascension, baptism, because I can sum it all up by saying we're literally at these planetary things, as Andre Barbeau's Celestial Basket. He did a book called Planetary Cycles in 2014. What he was primarily lasering in on was, in 2014, he was talking, when he did his book, he was referring to the exact conjunction at 0 degrees of our first zodiac sign we talked about in spring of this year, when Saturn and Neptune both popped into Aries. That starts the entire zodiacal dance again, because Aries is number one. So there was a sunrise, a celestial, iconic sunrise between Saturn and Neptune that occurred on the 20th of February this year, 2026, with Uranus and Pluto flanking that conjunction on either side. So it was at that time, too long ago, February 20th, and before you know it, Halloween's here, that the war on Iran began, bombing the capital, killing the leaders, starting a global energy up and down spiral, oil price hikes, blockade of this Strait of Hormuz, and that's still continuing. So people talking about, how magical this is. It's not necessarily going to be a feel-good or splendid relaunch into this new era. Are we going into a new era? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. And in about 12 days, the nodes are going to change. The North Node has been in Pisces for the last 18 months. It's going to go into Aquarius. The North Node is the karmic work to be done, the rewards that we get as we level up. The South Node is what we're familiar with, our patterns, how when we hit anger or stress, we kind of sort of act the same way. We're always kind of in the same dance sexually. We're always kind of in the same dance with food. or what we think about diet. Now, we get in these little habitual things. So being able to love yourself enough and trust yourself enough that if you can come upon, let me testify, if you can come upon a way that helps you get better results overall in your life. And so therefore it's like, wow, that's easier. And yet it's more profound. I just needed to let go. That's what's going on. So this is a rare, magnificent, can't leave out the word, intensely, potentially eruptive alignment. And the Jupiter and Leo, that's the heart of this basket. That's the heart. But Pluto is the handle. There's like a nozzle and a handle. It's like, think about one of those old metal watering cans, and how your flowers perk up once you water your herbs or your flowers in the garden. So Cancer right now, in this alignment, and this Barbeau's basket is saying to us, you're a garden. You have seeds, you're blooming, there's weeds, you need to be fed, you need to get the weeds backed out of that. And this is literally a time where the great love of the I Am is wanting to water you as a garden of life. So it's rare. Be aware without condemning yourself or other people projecting or judging you. Let the best of the ideas come up, your intentions and the spirit, the essence flow, the effluvia of like, I may not see it in the 3D world as manifested yet, but I am going to, at the very least, it's free, takes my time and my will, I'm going to put belief into it. I'm going to allow the Almighty I Am to be the director of this, and it's okay that I want this. It's okay that I can have that. And do I know that I'm worthy of that yet? That's the part of the Cancer, the crab, Joe. And can I let go of how many things have gone wrong in my life or been tough for me or have been a hard life for me? Can I now, regardless of whatever the definitions and the details are, can I achieve my harmony, soul harmony, spiritual harmony, gratitude, and faith as my fuel, and trust in who I am, what I give, and how I will, it's nobody else's fault. How am I believing? How am I acting? And am I open to receive? I can't tell you, Joe, how many people do all these mystical things and psychological things, and deep down, the adult and the inner child have not wedded yet psychologically to trust each other enough to go, we're worth it, and it's our time.
Yeah, because
we're worth it.
It's really deep in there. Like if you've had a bad experience over and over and over again in your life, you can stare in the mirror and say, oh, I'm worth it, or tell yourself you're worth it. Read books, or even your conscious brain knows that you are worth it. Logically, of course I'm worth it. But deep down, there's a sabotaging energy in there that's trying to protect you from being hurt again. And it's not that you have to get rid of the energy that's trying to protect you. It's that it doesn't really need to be there to begin with. Like, it's almost like recognizing it like a parent would over a child. You know, so you have to be the parent of your child in a sense. And that's why ceremony works, trance, hypnosis, anything, those types of things help because it helps you speak to the subconscious. But it's always going to be something that you have to continuously heal. But at least if it's getting better each time, that's pretty important too. You know, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to just heal. We need to heal this stuff immediately right now. And it's not that we can't do that. It's just, we don't need to beat ourselves up. Maybe recognize how far you've came, as well through that journey.
Patting ourselves on the back. Yeah. I think with self-discovery, what we're doing is we're unlocking the subconscious is your recorder. We memorized and everything we bore witness to when we were birthed. We memorized, it affected us. We were in that field, in that theater of experience. And so might have had a really angry dad, might have had an absent mom, might have had addiction, might have had dad and mom had to work all the time. And there were other people dancing around you, and you had to learn how to kind of figure, oh, no, that's mom, and oh, that's dad, and oh, it's time for me. Oh, they're tired. Mom's sad. All that kind of stuff. It just got in. Just think about when you're recording on YouTube, on your recorder off your phone. You're literally recording something as it's happening. So every time you do some type of inner child unification with your present self at this particular biological crossroads, who I am right now wasn't there in the form that I am right now totally back when I was that child at that age. So at this point, I have an ability to walk down nostalgia lane, to walk in those memories, and I can comfort that child. I can, instead of a child just being stuck there because, by God, that happened to me, and it's valuable, and it was a memory, and it changed me forever. Okay, well, you got me now, and we're going to do this because I'm not going to hurt you, inner child. I'm not going to hurt you. You're safe with me. And you may not have been safe with a lot of people, but you're safe with me. And that's the mystical, metaphysical, Buddhist prayer work. That it's the process of where you, as Joe was stating, in other words, you and I are going back, reaching back. That's what Mercury retrograde does, especially in the sign of Cancer, the mother, the birth, the mother and child reunion, as the song goes. So we're reaching back and mothering our child. This isn't so much about dad issues. That's Capricorn stuff. This is matriarchal. Our grandmothers, our aunts, our female cousins, sisters, things like that. This is the women, our grandmothers, that influenced us and who we knew was safe and who we knew would hug us, as Joe said, and teach us. And it wasn't so much with judgment. It was about, you got this. You know, it's like, no, that wasn't fair what happened to you, but I'm here now. So kind of that with your inner child, I'm here now. So we all had to swim in troubled waters, but we're still drowning if we don't come out of the water. It's really that visual is really, you can go in the ocean. Some people are really scared of it. They're going to feel a dolphin or a horseshoe crab or run away from a jellyfish or a man of war. Or, I mean, it's like, oh, look, a sand dollar. Oh, a starfish. Yeah, some of them are nice and some of them are like, that's going to get me. So that's what we're doing right now. We're looking at what's underneath it all, oceans of emotions, high tides, low tides, tides out. This is a time to surrender. Now, the question becomes mystically, psychologically, spiritually, what? When you genuflect, when you bow your knees, when you go down in a holy posture, in a sense, in meditation, and quiet the mind and be open to the rich abundance of sacred source, what is it that you would bow to? What is it that's your spiritual anchor? Like when there's a ship going across troubled waters, look, I can anchor it. I'm throwing the anchor out because that's what's going to comfort my child and also educate and get creative courage to my adult. So anger isn't meant to be spent arguing, complaining, reacting inside, the same system that created the problem in the first place. Anger is meant to be transmuted. That's Pluto. Right now, Pluto in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini and Uranus and Gemini are all speaking in harmony with each other. So what that will let us pursue and achieve with this redirected energy, because of the celestial tools and mechanics, it's a tune-up. So we can achieve soul sovereignty. We can see the independence from getting that off our backs and behind us. We are building new paths. We are creating workable alternatives. We're removing ourselves from what we know, what we found out, and then what we know is broken. Anything else is noise and obedience disguised as rebellion. So it drowning to me is staying stuck in the story. What happened? What should have happened? What shouldn't have happened? Swimming. Yeah, swimming is dropping into your body. The tightness, the heat, the throbbing. That's what lets you move through it all instead of just fighting to keep your head above water. So we're swimming with this full moon, and it requires respect and paying attention to the now base and the present, because we're not swimming in a pool. We're not swimming in a lake, although some lakes are deep and can be kind of treacherous. We're swimming in the ocean. We're swimming in the biggest, deepest bodies of Mother Earth's fluids on our planet Earth. And she's got rip currents, and she's got undertows, and she's got magical all of a sudden you're in this really deep, that was so fascinating to me, you're in this really deep water when you're swimming in the ocean, and all of a sudden you hit this thing called a sandbar.
Yeah.
It was like you're at a bar having a drink. It's like, wow, I was just in 15-foot water there, and I was like, ah. And then I was seeing people, it looked like people standing on the water the first time I saw that in Florida. I'm like, how is it so deep and those people are standing? Oh, that's a sandbar. And I'm like, well, what is that? I didn't know. I was born in Tennessee. I'm like, what is that?
You can get those in rivers too.
Oh, can you? Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, thank you. And I got up on the sandbar, and I'm like, well, this is really cool. Does this thing stay here, or does it move? And they're like, honey, the ocean is always moving, and that's the sands of time. So that's where I got that. So I'd like to say, if you've got to have expectations, right now expect it from yourself. It's probably not, I would not attach my attention to other people making me feel good, other people not recognizing or tolerating my anger outbursts or my frustrations, because the positive side of Cancer the Crab energies, wherever that is in your chart, is how we learn to be able to set a rule or a boundary for self-protection and self-respect, so we don't keep allowing ourselves that spiderweb of always getting caught up in other people's drama webs. When we say, look, I don't care how much you drink, I don't care how much you do, mahalo, I'm out. We're going to agree to disagree. No need to fight. We're going to agree to disagree. Still like you, but no, go on to the party yourself. I'm out. I've had enough. Or, yeah, I want more. I'm going to take it to the edge and jump off the cliff. Oh, we've all met them. We've all been them. So Cancer is also about when you said yes, when you really felt no, and when you said no, and you really wanted to say yes and dive in the deep waters again and take a risk. Was it quicksand, or will the sandbar not be there? And, oh, hell, here comes a tidal wave and a tsunami. So we've been through those. So using ocean, beach words right now until we get 2 weeks from now to the next full moon, when we get into the late July full moon, which will be in Aquarius. So right now we've got the Cancerian energy, but the sun's going to pop into Leo over the 21st, 22nd, when this whole angel wings, Andre Barbados basket type of thing's taking place. I promise you, there's an area of your life that's extremely personal, maybe secretive, or certainly intimate, not for everybody's eyes because you're picky. You're being transformed right now. There's things happening that it's like, whoa, didn't quite think it was going to happen that fast or that intense. There's going to be surprise money. There's going to be people all of a sudden that just want to bless you, and you did not see it coming intuitively or psychically, but it was a wish granted. It came out of, as they say, the blue. You opened up the card, there was money. You were allowed to step into something, a venue of opportunity that you've not been in before. You're getting seen in different ways you once longed for, and that's literally happening. So a Cancer lunar cycle is about, of all the times you've had troubles, when the good things happen, don't go through them too quickly. Yeah, bear witness. Don't just like, oh, well, if I got that bill paid, or, oh, thank God there was enough money in there to get the car. Don't just all of a sudden start worrying again. Why not turn around and let it bloom in your life garden, down your garden path, and go, damn, a month ago, 2 months ago, I did not know what was going to happen with that. I did not know how I was going to get out from under that. And ABC happened, and DEF came through, and I did not see that coming. I did not know where it was coming from, but I prayed, and my heart's eyes were opened, and I'm looking again. And I'm not going to blow past it too quickly. I'm going to respect the people that showed up for me in my life, and I'm going to respect whose spirit chose as my tribe. I know, even the Sabian symbol for where Pluto is right now, our ancestors, the ancestors, having a meeting, communicating with the next leader. I don't mean a king or a queen or a president of a country. Us. What are we going to lead with? What do we want to prioritize? As Gandhi said, be the change that you seek in this world. So yeah, there's tears, and yeah, there's laughter, and yeah, there's the love longing and the love satisfaction. But we start putting these timelines on things, and why can't we just enjoy the fruit, the biscuit with the real butter, in the moment? and not rush past that too quickly. So Cancer, like Taurus, is Chiron went into Taurus. Cancer and Taurus are about, you need to savor this. You need to savor this because this little sweet, simple thing that's happening in your life is literally resetting you, reprogramming you to be able to handle whatever else might be coming up on down the road. We are now officially in eclipse season. The next new moon is going to be an eclipse. After that, there'll be a full moon. So we got a Leo-Pisces dynamic coming up in August. Dual eclipses in August. Now let's see. When was the other time in 2026 that we had dual eclipses? February. So all kinds of crap happened after. Oh, they're all talking about Saturn going into Aries and, oh my God, Neptune going into Aries. It's just going to be nothing but, you know, the shit-fire wars and angers and divisiveness of leaders and oligarchies and we the people, which is Pluto and Aquarius. And yeah, war started in February, like I told you. And yeah, there's things going on. But Aries and Aquarius and Jupiter and Leo and Uranus and Gemini are saying, you know what, people, there's multi-dimensional, multifaceted choices here. And what, if you will, the oligarchs and the rulers and the people that want to put the boot on our neck don't like is we are waking up in a real sweet spot kind of way. And we're going, yeah, no, I'll boycott. Yeah, no, you're not locking me down. And yeah, okay. So we're not doing it relying on men and women or just humans in this current life walk. We're knowing that there are frequencies and we're seeing that there are invisible dynamics and blessings that we can put life into it. Why is that? Because the Creator, that which fashioned us and breathes life into us, it's promised in a whole bunch of different ways that they write these religious and spiritual dynamics. We're one with it. We are created in the image and likeness of, in a temple body on earth right now, but we're so much more than that. And it's time we all wake the heck up and realize we don't have to keep chasing after achieving our sacred soul spirituality. We were born with it. We are one with it. So how about we get up off our asses and start being the actual dynamic of divine alignment? And every once in a while, if we have to say, Creator, God, Almighty I am, forces of light and love, breathe me, direct me, take care of it, I will listen, I will follow, I am one with you. If that's the shift of the Cancer planets going into the Leo planets. What rules you? What are you letting control you? And can you get a little bit of a redesign? Can you declutter? Can you go ahead and accept that in my Father's house there are many mansions? I go to prepare a place for you. Heart chakra's coming up. It's Leo. Jupiter's already there. So it's heart chakra refinement that's coming up as we come into this eclipse in Leo and the other eclipse in Pisces. So there's a dynamic coming that says Pisces is your connection with spirit. Leo is your heart's art. Your heart's art. When you look at the word heart, if you rearrange the letters, earth is in there as well. So this is about looking at what we love about living on earth for however long we're here, however long the breath and the wind of spirit keeps us in this body, keeps us healthy, or keeps us not in the car crash, or not drowning, or not crashing in an airplane, or being in a war zone. You and I are here. We're listening to each other. And even when the voice of time has maybe you or I recorded and we moved on to a different dimension, there can still be comforting hugs in sincerity and love teaching and encouraging you to be, encourage starts with the N, encouraging you to bloom the knowing that you already have the courage in you, I-N. So this is that dynamic of whatever we might not have gotten from our parents, how about we step up at 20 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, whatever. Why don't we hug ourselves, and why don't we love ourselves, and why don't we give ourselves the attention that we deserve without attaching that to other intimacies in our life, and then we show up in a loving relationship better because we honor and show, without games, without drama need, we show others, this is who I am, this is real. You may not always like it, but this is real. I'm doing you the biggest favor of all. I'm being authentic. I have integrity, and I'm not taking any shit.
Yeah.
Get that in the 20s. Yeah, get that. And, come out of your childhood and go through your teenage and your hormonal cycles. And then by the time you're approaching that first Saturn cycle, there, somewhere between 28 and 30, start really including an episode in every chapter of your life book. How am I honoring myself? How am I parenting myself? Am I to thine own self be true? Because that's when you're going to see the body stresses. That's when you're going to see the weakness and the energy drainage and the certain parts of your body seeming to take the stress more than others. Certain episodic, I had a problem with my foot, or I got this fungus, or I got this bacterial thing. Any oncologist will, worth their salt, will say when someone's got some kind of test result they don't like, a cellular test result they don't like. I'm not going to name the issue. And then the oncologist, I've heard it time and time again from clients. I heard it myself from people around me, close to me. The oncologist said to them, what collapsed in your life? What have you been stressing out about? What's your biggest stress over the last 6 months to a year? They knew it. So stress can either motivate us, and so we get rid of the stress and we start looking at the accomplishment without stressing over making an accomplishment. Yeah, there's a quagmire there. There's a formula. It's about also, by the way, are you looking in the mirror and accepting yourself lately? Are you okay with you? And if not, who's shaming and who's blaming you if it's your mind and your thoughts and your words? So right now, feel, honestly, how your inner child is doing. And don't just project that on your kid if you have kids or your grandkids. How are you doing in honoring the part of you when you were the little person that felt trapped or inhibited or abused or not heard or not seen or left alone too much? How are you taking care of you without entangling other people into your drama web? Yeah, there you go. That's a rep.
I asked my dad for a hug a while back, right? Just asked him. I said, hey, Dad, can you give me a hug? And he's like, he's like, yeah, it's kind of a surprise to him. And he stood up and gave me a hug, and then he followed it. And I was surprised that he did it because, and then he followed it up by, well, I'm not your mother, right? And at first I was like, I wanted to get angry, and that's what we do, right? Because that person's not getting us, or they're not understanding what our emotional needs or whatever. But if you really step back and see what he's saying he was saying it because he's afraid that he can't be. It's not that he's trying to insult you or someone's trying to be mean to you. Sometimes people hurt you because they have their own fears. This is not about you.
Mm-hmm. The best part I love of what you just said is you were bold enough, creatively and spiritually courageous enough to say, Dad, can I have a hug? And you're an adult, and he's an adult. And although he was surprised, I think I heard you right.
Yeah, he was surprised that I asked him for that. Yeah.
He rose up. He
stood up and gave me a hug immediately.
Yeah, immediately. So that can also be interpreted in a really poignant psychological ask, and you shall receive.
When someone says, I'm not your mother in any kind of way, or they act that way towards you or whatever, you don't snap and go, I knew it. See, that's, whatever. Like, maybe they're hurt too. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe they don't get they don't have the emotional intelligence you have. It's not always an attack on you or someone that doesn't care or they don't care about you. A lot of times it's just fear, or they don't understand, or they don't even have the awareness you have.
So I have to ask one thing. How did it feel that he spontaneously rose right up without the weird look or anything? He just rose up and did the action. And did you thank him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I laughed when he said, I'm not your mother. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's all right. It's good, though.
I think you nailed it. No, I think you nailed it. It's like, I wish, I don't know how to do what Mom was supposed to do for you. I don't think I've got that in me. But yeah, buddy, I'm going to stand up and hug you. I'm going to do everything I can. That's a warrior. That's a warrior. We all have our flaws. We all have our impatience. We all have our expectations, but a warrior, when asked, rises to the occasion. And your dad, with all his this or that, then he rose in that moment. In your present moment, he rose up and said, "Yeah, I'm not your mother. Like somehow, I hope I hope because it's just me. I hope that I can. I don't know if I can fill the gap, but I hope I do." And rising up, you having the visual now as an adult man that your dad rose up and hugged you. It was like you didn't know what was going to happen. You could laugh or go, "Wait, get out of here." Yeah, he rose up and he hugged you. So to me, that's immediate alchemy for the inner child merging with the adult, Joe Root. Immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate. And that's medicine. That's what we call when I did my Native First Nations people trainings and ceremonies with the medicine wheel. I love that. I immediately fell in love with the fact that what kind of medicine's in your medicine bag. Okay, Joe's dad rising to hug him in that moment, in that request was medicine. And they would call that's good medicine. That's healing medicine. That's rich medicine. It allows you to rise. Someone rose to the occasion, lifted you up, and you both were blessed because of it. That's the better part of a Mercury retrograde in Cancer on the Sun and Moon marrying, father, mother figures marrying in the sign of the mother, in the sign of Mother Earth, Grandmother Moon. Our biological mother, be you a male biologically or a female biologically, or you had a mother or a father that birthed you and seeded you, all of us have the same biological mother, and that's Mother Earth, Mother Nature. Then we have a spiritual father, but Mother Earth fed and sheltered your mom and fed and sheltered your dad and helped you get here in a biological way. Now we have the supernatural flavors and recipes and mystical alchemy of how spirit and that dimensional level can help imbue our biological experience. And that, I think, is the bigger part of the mother. How can I continue to hug you and nurture you and create safe shelter for you? And that's when we love ourselves.
Yeah. So I watched this thing too with Mike Tyson. You know who Mike Tyson is, right, Mary? Like,
I did.
The baddest man on the planet, biggest temper, knocked out more people than ever, whatever. But there was this clip where I wish I could play it for you, but he was talking to his therapist, and Mike told, and I put it on my Facebook page, but Mike told his therapist, he said, tell them who I really am. And his therapist looked at the camera and said, Mike sometimes is a scared little boy. And you think Mike Tyson would like flip out or something, right? But he said, well, what he'll do is when we're out somewhere, he'll tap me on the shoulder, and that's his signal to let me know that, I'm scared. So even Mike Tyson was awesome enough to get down to his inner child and tap his therapist and be like, I'm scared. And his therapist would turn around and say, I love you. You're okay. And the thing about it was recognizing that even the baddest man on the planet needed to ask for help. It's not like, when your inner child asks for help, you think it's all on you. And in a way it is on you. The adult part of you needs to take that responsibility too. But if you could still ask for help, you could still tell people how you feel. And as long as you don't react to how they react, just let it be known,
Well, there's two sides to that coin. What we felt, we got, some people have used the word with me, well, I felt cheated by my dad, or I felt neglected by my mom. So how do we correct that in the way that we react to children, or we treat elderly people in our life, or we treat animals, or we act when we're serving food, or the server or the waitress or the bartender? How are we to them when we're not in the center stage all the time? So we have different ways of acting out as well. So I think with the Cancer New Moon, we have to look at, yes, the corrective, beautiful moments, the alchemy and the corrected epiphany behaviors, the aha moments of, wow, I never knew my dad would do that. Wow, I never knew that about my mom or my grandma. Those kind of things that are happening right now are also magnified by us not just bitching and being sad or judgmental of what we did or didn't get, and we felt cheated in some way. How about we course correct it by stepping up better our own damn self? Yeah. be the difference, be the difference. I didn't get this. Therefore, I recognize through therapy and spirituality and prayer and dreams, I recognize that I had a missing link or a gap there. So instead of me dumping that on my family or my lover, I'm going to correct that with myself. If I didn't get it, I can demonstrate how it's done.
Yeah, and people don't talk about, if you don't talk about like what your inner child needs to feel loved, others aren't going to know. There's so many people that get into, whether it's friendships, relationships, partnerships, whatever you want to call them, they don't say, this is what I need to feel loved. What do you need to feel loved, right? And then you might even have completely different values. And then later down the road, you start building resentment. You don't say it. Would a child, ask yourself this, would a toddler not say what they need? You don't have to be a toddler, but would a toddler not say, hey, this don't feel right, or I like this, or I don't like that, or I need a hug, whatever. So as you go down the road with these people, if you don't let them know where your boundaries are, what feels good, what don't, what you value, then resentment's going to build. And then you'll get into these things where people start believing that, well, I overgave. I'm always the one that was loving, and I'm just an overgiver, and I always get this. And it's like, well, maybe there was some not really authentic, honest, heartfelt communication before this went down the road. And maybe that's what needs to happen too.
And maybe you need to shift from being the one that not you personally, maybe we need to shift from being the people pleaser, working the hardest, always overgiving, because underneath that platform is, I got to prove it. I got to show it. I got to step up first. I got to do it better than anybody else ever did, because then they'll love me. And that's what gets me out of trouble all the time. No, how about you balance that? How about you balance that? The opposite sign of Saturn and Neptune going retrograde this year. How about you balance that with, I deserve to receive too. I'm not always going to overget. I'm not always going to make it okay for them. I'm not always going to bust my ass to heal their wound or help them disassociate or help them, just go cop out and escape by being high all the time, or they have to have an adrenaline, rush all the time, because otherwise they're bored. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And I'm like, wait, you think peace is boring?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you move to...
Some people do get bored.
Okay,
That's
so
true. They get bored without pain and trauma and chaos.
They'll say that to me. It's a really peaceful day. It's nature and stuff. And they'll go, I think I'll just go back to sleep. What? And I'm like, kind of, what? I'm like, yeah, well, I'm kind of bored. I mean, I don't do this anymore, and I don't that. And how about you aren't that anymore? How about right now? What about right now is missing? Your health is good. You have some money in the bank. I mean, nature's being good. We're not in the middle of a storm or an earthquake. People, we need to, a lot of times, Joe, this, hurricanes or earthquakes or tragic fires or plane crashes. I mean, somebody dying untimely. I mean, that puts your ass right up, straight up in the seat. And when something tragic happens, most of the time, what changes with those people long term is, I'm so much more aware of what I'm grateful for in my life now, about the losses that I sustained, what was taken from me, how shocking that was. I'm not just going to always say I've got post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
I'm not going to identify myself as that. I'm not a victim. I don't need the drama. And I'm not going to be in denial about the statement of that was the most intense, difficult explosion in my life I ever had. And I can either rise above it, resurrect, be baptized because of it, be birthed into a new life. You have a testimony, you have a story. You can be an encourager. You can say, I've been there. I did jump off that bridge. I do know what that's like. I can talk to you about that. Your experience will still be unique, but I'm not the person, because I can't imagine. I have no idea. I just can't imagine how tough that is. Well, somebody that's been through it can not only imagine it, they survived it. So it's those survivors in our life that can be an inspirational reset for us. Like, go on YouTube or Instagram, or go look at inspirational things on TikTok. I don't like TikTok, or all these different things. Whatever. I just don't have a good vibe on it, but to each their own. For me, just talking about me, energetically, psychically, it's a hard no. So go on the one that you are inspired by, whatever platform, and type in how to be inspired, creative healing, sound frequency healing, and stop taking, the whole internet started to explode in 1989. stop taking, just because it's on an electronic platform, people are seeing that now with AI and all that. Stop just deciding that that's the truth. The one thing I like about AI is all these people that are wanting to get the quick information on whatever topic it is. They're all using the same promo and the same banner because it's what AI is spitting out.
Well, if you're working on your own and you don't have a lot of time, AI is great. It's a great tool to use, but it shouldn't be your.
It's a tool.
It shouldn't be another drug.
And there you go. Not unlike gambling or porn addictions or alcohol or substance abuse. Yeah. So, and I think that we're going to see with this Chiron and Taurus, and I'll say this before we want to go into the signs. With Chiron now, the wounded healer. Also go back in the centaurs and mythological tales. Chiron has now moved into the sign of the bull and Taurus, and it's been in Aries for a while. And now in Taurus, it's going to say to us, what herbs, what flowers, what teas, what powders, what mushrooms, what elixirs, what tonics, what can I do, what earthing, going barefoot, grounding, whatever it is. How can I get my vitamin D3 from sitting in the sunlight? Too much blue screen, go into the sunlight. That's 15 minutes, you got your D3 for the day. 15 minutes in the sun, people. It's free. You get your D3, which resets all your hormones, more than melatonin. So what are you doing? What can you incorporate and start to not procrastinate and allow yourself to do for another step up in your own full body, spirit incorporated holistic wellness, to be more holy, to be more aligned? What are you willing to do? And don't tell me it's a budget thing, because nature can be involved. You can sit out on your back deck. You can go feel the rain if you want to, whatever. But go watch it on YouTube if that's what you want to do, nature scenes. But you can incorporate Mother Nature right now as your first and foremost healing. And this new moon, being a supermoon, the stars can talk to us so nicely visually. You talk about an open-eyed meditation. Get outside when you've got clear weather, because Cancer is all about water and rains and deluges. Go outside and just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, way early morning or last thing at night, or when you get up to evacuate the bladder, just go out under the stars and look up and just say, thank you. I really want to bear witness to the beauty of what's above my head. As above, so below. As you witness the beauty above your head, the rainbow, the cloud,
stars,
the pictures in the clouds. The stars.
Yeah.
Me too. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, those are my favorite ancestors. So as you look at the stars and you see they're literally lighting the darkness visually for you, that's logical, and that's what your physical eyes are seeing. They're lighting the darkness around you. The new moon, different than the full moon, the new moon and eclipses are when we will see more stars than usual. So go out and kind of feel what direction. Like you've got this whole canopy of stars above you. You'll learn something about the medicine wheel too when you go out and you kind of just look at the stars and make a little full circle standing outside, and then decide as you just slowly face east and then face south and then face whatever order you want, west and then north. Which stars, when you turned and then opened your eyes, which ones seemed to feel like, yeah, buddy, right there? That direction becomes an oracle. Remember, it's free, just takes your time. Becomes an oracle, and if you felt more comfortable under this new moon, staring at the stars in the east direction, you're about to have some new things and rebirths, and there's sunrises happening in your life. It's a new dawning. If you are more comfortable in the south, right there is the inner child, right there. That's the inner child, the little you inside the magnificent, ever-evolving consciousness. If you face north, that's ancestors, that's your angel messages, that's telepathy, that's journaling, that's dreams, that's visualization, your intuitive eyes, intuition, looking within. That's right now. And then if you face west, it's significant others. It's the intimate prescription. It's different kind of intimacy archetypes and patterns, and how you will nurture and birth and be a parental security in that, with that partner that you are developing a deeper intimate connection with. So it's both the child and the parent that can come together when we're in the west direction, because it's what we are riding our horse into the sunset to hopefully be able to trust and to see and to enjoy camaraderie and companionship with.
Yeah, man. Imagine a life where you don't have to hide anything. You know, it doesn't seem real. Like that's not real. Well, I mean, it is real. You're just afraid. You might be afraid of someone abandoning you, or truly being authentic. You're going to be by yourself. Whatever, all this stuff whatever it is, it's fear. I promise you, at the bottom level of it. And then, you know, maybe people will go away once you start really being who you are, deep down, all the way to your heart, and nurturing yourself and making sure that you're nurtured and nurturing others properly. But like, in the end, it's going to cycle the right people in the right situations in your life, and then you're really going to be on an adventure, you know, something that you can really enjoy.
Couple of things. There's a reason for some dynamic relationships. There's a reason, and sometimes there's a season. The chapter closes. That doesn't make it bad. It was a very integral, important chapter in us teaching them and them teaching us. It might be bitter, it might be sweet, but then going forward, it can be our energy. If we're sincere and authentic, even if they weren't, we helped shift them. We have become a reference point. Follow me here. They can't even dance with yet.
I'm only saying this too out of experience, not like preaching or anything.
All of us.
You know.
No, all of us. Oh no, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've been there.
I can't tell you how many times, and I've told Mary this too, where I should have told a person or a in several situations, I don't like this. This isn't good for me.
Right.
This hurts me.
Right.
But I wanted that person, that friend, that lover, whoever, to not leave or stay there, that I didn't speak up and say those things. Maybe I hinted towards them or whatever. And then I got resentful, and then it turned into an argument, and everybody's hinting around what they're mad at. It's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You know, giving and receiving are both equally good for your heart.
Reciprocity. When we do those things, we're kind of putting a burden on the other person. That doesn't mean you're going to get to be crappy and get away with it. Trust me. But we're kind of putting a different kind of burden on a person of like, we're assuming they're reading our signals correctly. We're assuming they're reading our mind. Yeah. So, and a lot of times, that's an assumption gone wild. So
they
a lot
ought to
of
know
times
that this is wrong, right? That I don't like this. Who does this? Maybe they don't.
I've told them. Why do they keep doing it? Because the other person, even if you've told them, so in Joe's point, even if you've told them and they keep doing things that you already told them is going to be an eclipse for your feelings or you're relaxing or whatever, and they keep doing it, they're also being a teacher of triggering our pattern. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to let them keep getting away with it.
That's the parent-child dynamic. So the child in you is going to say, no, don't tell them that, or don't say you're done, because they're going to leave, the little child that's afraid to be abandoned. But the parent in you has to stand up and be like, so be it. That's life. We can't have this.
If it goes that far. But to Joe's point, if we start speaking out earlier and say, listen, just so you know, and you don't have to guess, I don't like that. Now, if you like that, we'll have to have some kind of compromise, but don't get mad at me if I don't want to go to the party and get snot kicking drunk. Don't get mad at me. If you need to do that, that's just not something that's an attraction template for me right now. Been there, done that, and it just doesn't work for me. I closed the chapter. It could come up from time to time, but it certainly is not on my list of like, yeah, buddy, can't wait. Yeah, no, been there. And I know that personality. I know those people. It's not an adrenaline rush for me that motivates my soul. So, we can get ego rushes and we can get, attractions, and dynamics of push, pull, hug, shove. Yeah, that was fun. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Get in the bedroom.
We can do all that. But that's not necessarily going to be the actual crow's nest of the ship. We all have our pleasure principles, but I'm just saying it's okay to have pleasure. It's okay to have passion, but let passion at least look at what the path of purpose is with your passion. Is it mystical? Is it spiritual? Is it strictly, I want to have adult pleasure? Is it strictly, I want monetary relief right now and that's my pleasure? It's okay to go through those different episodes.
Right.
I don't feel it's healthy for any of those particular episodes to have a hook in your mouth.
Or
Let's put it that
precedence
way.
over
Yeah.
what's going on in the heart, ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Ever.
there you go. Yeah.
You never let
Well,
anything have precedence
prior-
over what's going on in the heart, because in the end, that's what's going to come out, no matter what.
So in a nutshell, with this new moon, we all, capital ALL, we all have to face and attend to our own innermost emotional body right now. It's a body of energy. It's a body of water. It's energy set into motion, emotions. So how are our emotions either stymied, stagnant? Are we in a drought? Are we in a flood? Are we shaking? Is it an earth shaking? Where are we at? Does the wind feel good in us? And the sands of time and the winds of change. That's going on with all these air signs. We've got a predominance of the yang. Yang is action. It's electrical. We have Leo and Aries and Aquarius and Gemini dominating right now. It's dominating. This new moon is in yin water, the mother and child reunion. This is the yin moon that we're having here. So before we jump again into the fire, with the next new moon being in Leo when we come together again around the 11th and 12th of August, before we get to that eclipse in Leo, which the whole rest of 2026 into February of 2027, yeah, buddy, that recipe, get a whole new recipe in August. The 10th, 11th, and 12th of August, I promise you, new theater, curtains pull back, new performance. This is a completion. This is meant to be a graduation. This is meant to be for us to say, you know what? This works for me when I allow me to be doing this like that all the time. I don't have to have a mask. I don't have to have a costume. I can assume the archetype of a media host or a server or an animal parent or whatever it is. You know, I can assume these different roles, but who I am has to be one with the I am, because then it's cleared and it's either that's a yes for me or that's a no, like on Shark Tank. And for these reasons, it's a no for me. And for these reasons, I'm going to invest. Just look at how they answer on Shark Tank, Cancer, the ocean. You know, you're swimming with the sharks and the one shark's going, yeah, no, I'm not going to bite on that. And the other ones that invest going, you know what? I'll give you a deal of 10% and all that kind of stuff. Just watch the panel more than the inventors. Watch what the panel, the words they use of Shark Tank with this Cancer new moon. So like, just try to watch an episode. It can be old or new on YouTube or someplace where you watch reels. Just watch, fast forward if you have to, if you're hyper, and get to the point where they say yes or no to that inventor. Like,
only a
scroll it up, you see what they're inventing.
Scorpio would bring up business transactions to the heart like that and make it make sense.
Well, Scorpio knows whatever we invest in, whatever recipe we choose, whatever stew that we allow ourselves to ingest, whatever we take into our bodies, Scorpio, it's the procreation.
It's not about the transaction. It's about being decisive, I think, right? That's what you're saying. Absolutely. Being very decisive about what you know you want or deserve.
How many people do you know, Joe, that have said, well, I'm not happy in this relationship, but the money's good. I don't want to put the money. Yeah.
Well, I can't leave him. He's still got my CDs. I was like, what? You know,
no, I know. And we both signed on the line with the kid or whatever. And it's like, and they're miserable with each other. But they're still repeating what became. Joke. They think that security, even if it's crappy and debilitating, when we look at the worst parts of our childhood, it still became a habit. It still became familiar. So all I'm asking you to do is to look at what was the plus and what was the minus and just attend to what's subtracting energy in your life or vampirically driving you into very dysfunctional, dramatic situations, and work on the inner child that you have that with the pluses and the magic and the creative impetus that you have, you know. And yes, you'll be a student. And at the same time, I'm a teacher. I'm always going to be a student because I love to learn, because I can be empowered while I'm involved in evolving. That said, that's the power of this moon. Stars. Go look at the stars.
We're going to have to go through these signs, Mary. Do you have the energy for it, or do you need a break?
Oh, absolutely. No. Let's do this quickly, because what I said to you is more important than just our particular signs. Now, where this recipe has the most fire that I don't hear a whole lot of astrologers talking about is the Cancerian area of your star chart, that house, as we call it, the zone, the area, whether you have planets there or not. Everything that I've talked about, when you learn what house Cancer Moonchild is in your chart, that's what's got an illumination spotlight on it right now, and that's the most favorable energy participation you can do. So for Aries, the first sign of a zodiac, it is the fourth house. So Aries begins the zodiac, Cancer is the fourth sign. That's where we are. So for Aries right now, it's Dad, can I have a hug?
Yeah,
and it happens.
Give me a hug.
So for Aries right now, they're going to be hugging, they're going to receive hugs, and it's got to do with the fences are getting mended, even replaced in a very happy way, to do with the bridges that once existed in the family dynamic. And it could just be one particular relative or an exit or an entrance. But it's right now, it's about having a clean sweep in the family type of energy. If you're Taurus, it's the third house. So third house is ruled by Gemini, Taurus. Mars is there. Uranus is there. So Taurus people are saying it rather than holding it back. Usually Taurus, like Scorpio, kind of likes to watch the bull in the field, the cow that goes, don't mess with a calf. I'm just going to run away. Leave me alone. I'm just eating. I'm not bothering you. I'm just trying to have my hay and my grass. Go on. Look at the cow from a distance. And the bull's like, yeah, come on up in here. So for the bull right now, they're speaking up, they're speaking out, and they've got something to say, because Taurus people are the best people, for the most part, I've ever met that can be around really hyper dramatic people, because Taurus knows how to have the patience to let them just be the circus and then calm their ass down, because they've already so hyper and so dramatic and so attention seeking, they wore everybody else out.
Yeah.
So I'll always say to Taurus, you are so good at that. I do not have that. My 5 planets in Scorpio would be like, enough. Bah.
My ex-wife in Taurus used to do that. I don't know. He's going crazy. I'm like, really? Yeah, it's all right, though. And then later that you hear her go, calm your ass down. You know, that's what
right.
Like, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm very compatible with Taurus people, because I like how Taurus can serve up serenity and peace. I do. Taurus is just like, I ain't going to judge your ass. Well, so you did that. So you made a mistake. And Taurus is just like, now, if it affects me in my life and you're expecting me to change or sustain a loss because you did that, it ain't happening. But I hope you work through it. But don't do that to me. Don't do that. I will react. You will see the bull and you will see the cow going, hell no, get out. It's my hate. So with Gemini, oh Lord, Gemini, this is in your second house of that which you deem worth it. Sometimes that's financial. Sometimes I know Gemini's right now struggling with whatever the news is going to be with particular health challenges. So they can have a bunch of money that they earned and all kinds of benefits and perks and retirements, but that $100,000 can be sitting over there plus, but then you got something you got to deal with your health. All the money can't seem to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So with Gemini right now, and Mars and Uranus in Gemini, and you're getting support from Jupiter and Leo and Pluto and Aquarius, I'll tell you, Gemini, you better shut your mind off and you better start some new systems that help you find peace of mind and stop being an ogre with your thoughts and your sharp cutting words. It's not going to serve you well. Let's get selfish for a minute. You playing those little dramatic games and you throwing out a little sharp piece of glass of sarcasm with somebody and then expecting them, looking at them like there's something wrong with them because they took offense with that. Yeah, no. Be the creative Gemini, be Mercury and lighten up the room, and don't get laughs by cutting anybody else down or bringing up vulnerabilities. You need to work on your own ass, Gemini. Look harder, longer in the mirror, and listen to how you're delivering the message. I mean, Mercury's retrograde till the 23rd too, so, snap out of it and step up to the plate. And if you're a Cancer, happy birthday. If you're a July Cancer, this is a time of tender touch. This is a time of knowing that you're so much more than what anybody ever told you that you were or weren't. So it's your personal new moon. It's falling in the front door of who you are. The sun is opening up the front door of opportunities for you. The sun, the great star of the Milky Way, is like, you know what, it's your turn. You got the center spotlight on the stage. What matters most right now? So it's the self, it's identity, it's appearance and personal outlook. So yeah, you absolutely, whether you want to or not, you're beginning a first chapter of some kind, a fresh chapter of some kind. It's a hallmark time in your life story. It's emotional. Self-awareness, Joe used the term earlier, it's emotional intelligence. So you're looking at, you're able easier to let go of any self-limiting, old, tired, worn out beliefs, and keyword for Cancer, nurture a kinder, more compassionate relationship with yourself. Oh yeah, you to you, that matters. Leo, it's your 12th house. It's a time of inner reflection. Even though Jupiter is in your sign, until you get past July 26, your subconscious, solitude, and healing all go together. So retreat gently, if that's taking a little country drive, if that's your motorcycle, if that's, skimming a rock across the water, doing some fishing, doing some singing or some dancing. That's what you need to do, Leo. One of the somatic techniques is to sway. So I think that dancing or singing or swaying is a great way to actually get the body involved physically, also in not letting that tension or that fear take residence within the body. If you're Virgo, this is your 11th house. So where's your community? How are those goals? How are those friendships supporting that community? You are a team player, Virgo. Like you're really critical of your own self and you get in your own way because of that, as you kind of get wrapped up in feeling like you're judged. So right now, I have a lot of Virgo. I seem to always attract Virgos and Tauruses, and a lot of Virgos that I know of various ages and all the genders that you want to play with, male and female for me is good enough. I don't need to complicate it. So a lot of Virgos right now are feeling uncertain about what's ahead because the same people they hung out with and the same things that they did, it's not the medicine that for the most part works on a regular, substantial basis. So they're having to not only look at being supportive and authentic, how they show up, but they're a little nervous about the fact that, what used to thrill me ain't doing it no more. Is there something wrong with me? Am I not attractive anymore? How come? And then they'll try to do that thing and dip their toe in the water again. It just falls flat because Virgo's in a real major reset. And Venus is there helping you. And if you're Libra, top of the chart, this is your 10th house. So these are bucket list and memory making and trip in the light, fantastic type of experiences. It's like, I will never, ever let that control me the way it once did. I will never succumb to just what the other person wants. Libra now is saying it's a brand new day.
Hell
it's
yeah,
completely
that's
different.
Crazy that you're saying that. I actually wrote that in a manifesto.
I love it. Wasn't it Michael Bublé that did that song? And I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Libra right now. Yeah, that's Libra, the Michael Bublé song, Feel Good. So it's aligning with your professional savvy and the fact that you've been dedicated, Libra, to keeping on and day by day, moment by moment, point by point, dollar by dollar. It's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm a hamster on the treadmill. But now all of that good karma in your dedicated, discerning bank account is going to come back to let you be seen in ways you've not been seen before, and then some. And that's not temporary. You've really closed a book of lack. The story of lack, I feel, is being completely metaphorically transformed. Scorpio, this is 9th house. Beliefs, intentions, affirmative action, knowing and applying what you already know deep inside yourself, psychologically, psychically, spiritually. Scorpio, this is about where you're literally seeing the hand of God, the movement across the waters of creation with the Almighty I Am happen in your life. And some of it's like almost like a little bit of a burp that slips out, like, ruh-roh, didn't see that coming. So it's almost like, whoa, it's like a lot of Scorpios I know have been involved in some type of surprising cyclone of their life being rearranged. And probably the easiest part of that is some of those that had somebody move out or they're moving to a different vortex of connection. So, and there could be some death and birth in that too. Like, oops, I didn't know I was pregnant. Oh my God, they're dying. That kind of, so it's intense. It's intense. So for Scorpio, it's favorable intense, but I cannot take an eraser and say, oh, even though Cancer's so compatible with Scorpio and Venus and Virgo is so compatible with Scorpio. Yeah. Every
the
Scorpio
charts are a little bit more
going,
complicated than
what was
that.
that? It is very complicated. If you're Sag, this is 8th house. So you are now achieving with the opposition of Mars and Uranus and your polarity sign of Gemini, where you felt stuck, you maneuvered rather than manipulated. You kind of like what we say in the South, I'll just bide my time. So you're biding your time, and you've been biding your time for the last 18 months. And I feel like that what used to be a restrictive, oh my God, what's going to happen with us? What's going to go on with this? How are we going to divide that? Is this going to collapse? Didn't. And now Sagittarians feel comfortable because they're able to maneuver without feeling like they got that, carrot over their head or the potentiality of shocking divisions of assets or people. So you are still looking at relief with significant others, but there's still boundaries that have to happen, Sag. There's still boundaries. Can't escape it. Got to say, yeah, no, we did that before and that didn't work. Don't bring that up and don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not going backwards. I'm going forward with you. Capricorn, it's in your 7th house. Capricorn is the polarity opposite sign to Cancer, the crab. So it's the sands of time is Capricorn. Oceanic waves of change, high rise, low tide, tides out, that's Cancerian, and all the creatures that live and all the mysteries of the ocean. So it's a time where if you're Capricorn, I want you to listen to your partner more. And if you're unsure, rub their neck, brush their hair, look at them and say, you doing okay? Anything more I could do? Or do you feel like you just need some time alone? I promise you I won't take it personal.
I just had a weird vision of someone brushing my hair, asking me those questions. Made me feel funny inside.
A little titillated. Those are nice things. No, those are really nice things. We could do more of those things.
Yeah,
we could do more of those things. We could condition our lovers' hair.
That's kind of girl on girl stuff, though, right? Like brushing your hair kind of stuff.
No, I don't want some chick brushing my hair. No, if a guy brushed my hair, no, that's interesting. Yeah, no. No, or someone even liking your hair or, saying you have nice hair. I like the way you wear your hair like that, or that haircut really looks good on you. Aries, the head. Look at Saturn and Neptune and Aries right now. We're looking ahead.
I'm just picking
what's ahead. I know you aren't, but I'll have to. If you're an Aquarius, you know that. You're brother enough to know that. You poke the tiger, she'll come back. The Aquarius rising in you are Aquarians. This is your 6th house of how is that daily routine going? How are your animals? Did one leave? Do you want another one? Did you finally have an animal reunited with you that went missing in the fireworks of a storm? So Aquarius right now, you're in the cycle of service to others and how well that's working or not. Because I remember when I first got into astrology, Joe, when I was 14, the astrologer in Orlando looked at me and said, people don't talk about how crazy Aquarius can get. And I'm like, what? Well, they talk about Leo's drama and Scorpio's intensity, and Aries will shoot the gun first, ask question later, but they do not talk about how crazy Aquarius can be. They're the craziest bunch out there when they go off the chain. I'm like, I'm going to never forget that because I've never heard that since. So Aquarians have a different kind of crazy, and that crazy works for them. Just saying, gave you a rule of thumb in there. If you're Pisces, this new moon is in your 5th house, and you're looking at your child. You're looking at your insecurities around your romance. Like Pisces sometimes can project if they feel like they've not been very attentive or responsive to their spouse, their significant other. They'll like accuse somebody else of trying to flirt with them or sleep with them, and they're like, "What? Where did that come from? That came out of left field." But actually, the Pisces is insecure about their weight, or that part of their body, or their hair, or whatever it is, or they're demanding money from the partner, but they're really not acknowledging how hard that partner's working or showing up for them and the kid. And also Pisces, what are you taking and tolerating from the grandkids or the kids? Like, are they yelling at you? Are they disrespectful? Or are you being like, if I don't fully control you and I'm the circus master and the ring master and I crack my whip, you better sit down and your will doesn't matter anymore. So for Pisces right now, they got to look at the dynamic of the push-pull of the parent-child grandchild type of dynamic. It's intense for Pisces right now. It's very intense. And again, like Scorpio, Cancer is very compatible to you, Pisces. But that Mars, that Mars and Uranus in Gemini, and that Venus opposing you in Virgo, and let's talk about Pluto in Aquarius, your 12th house. So it's Reformation time. And so the excuses of your health or the wham, I just need to sleep. Could you give me another martini? Can I have another joint? I think I need some microdose. Whatever. Go ayahuasca your ass into some kind of logical way of facing whatever it is that needs to be dealt with. So it's for the God's sake, so it doesn't keep coming up again and again, as they say in Latin, ad nauseum. Like it's
you're
coming
trying to
up all the
reinvent
time.
yourself with substances and events, and you actually
blaming.
have to do the work and deal with it. There's no psychedelic. I know people say psychedelics is going to heal all my demons and stuff. Not really. I mean, you're still going to have to face them, and even even then, you realize, these some bitches really never go away. It's more about the relationship that I have with them,
Now, I will say, some of the substances, I'll link to. Yeah, some of the mushrooms, some of the substances, some of the plant medicine can free up your addiction to just looking at something only one kind of way and help you literally get outside your normal realm of thinking or your familiarity with, when I'm sexy, I always act that way. When I'm angry, I always go into that costume. And when I'm sad, this is how I see. Okay, so the trip, if you will, the trips that you take won't necessarily be a vacation, but it will help you vacate where you've been trapped. That part I like.
Right on.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
If that makes
totally does. Definitely does. And
love yourself. Just love yourself. That's what you need to do. You just need to, this moon is about, no matter what someone didn't give you emotionally, demonstrate for yourself, to yourself, this is how I'm going to have a soft moment. This is my soft place to land. This is my nap. I don't normally get the luxury of a nap. I'm going to lock the door, put the music on, and I'm just going to go on my own kind of journey type of a thing. But even if you have the money and the time to go to these retreats and ceremonies, what are you bringing back from the experience? The teachers did their job. As a student, you received the blessing if you then apply it going forward in your world because you saw and experienced. Boots on the ground, experienced. Wow, that got me out of my head. Damn, I never looked at it like that way before. And man, I feel liberated. I can sing, I can dance, my back doesn't hurt. Wow, I know I can achieve that now. That's the validation. When you do stuff like that, it's like you see sides of yourself and you birth new confidence because you're literally there doing it, experiencing it. And then you come back to your world and it's just like, okay, I've been procrastinating this too much. Changes today. And let's start that with ourselves. Let's start the changes with ourselves, on ourselves, loving and participating with ourselves so we don't keep looking for other dysfunctional partners to blame it on. Well, if they hadn't ripped me off and if they weren't mean to me, it's like, well, how come you allowed that? Hello. What's up with you? Why did you pull the plug? Well, the money's mixed and all that. Well, that took a while. So not blaming, just asking the question of yourself, like no therapist, no astrologer, no psychic. All they're going to do is confirm to you what you've already known within yourself. If they're a good psychic or an astrologer, going to go, yeah, I kind of have been there. I kind of have been nervous. I kind of have been crying. These tears that are coming up again, they're a different kind of waterfall. They're healing you. They're healing you. You're learning from the tears, and I celebrate that.
That's good. Yeah, that's the good stuff, man. Yeah, people.
Yep.
People think, how many people do you know that when you hear the word emotions or emotional, immediately in their brain they think bad, right? Like it's bad signal. Yeah. Well, emotion is like everything else in your life, in your body. There's nothing in nature, including your emotions, that doesn't have an input and an output for its perfect balance in its most healthy way. So if you're one of these people that just input all this stuff and you don't let your emotions out, well, it's not bad. It's bad to do that. It'd be just like eating and not pooping, drinking and not peeing.
Yep.
Breathing in and never exhaling.
Consciousness constipation.
Or, taking all this stuff into your mind and never expressing yourself or being creative. Like everything in nature has an output. So if you don't find an output, if you're just trying to be tough and just hold it all in, you're killing yourself. And you're hurting everybody else around you in a sense too.
Absolutely. Killing yourself softly and slowly, killing me slowly, type of a thing, another song of the past. So what this is saying to you is you have a right to get it right. And with the Aries challenge is sometimes the Aries in our chart, not just if you are an Aries, this is deeper than that. The Aries part of all of our charts tries to show up by saying, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, damn it. I'm right. The better part of Aries is, I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right more than I have to be right. That's a light switch right there. It's like you'll be right when you get it right. So it's a double win for the Aries dynamic in our chart. But the challenge right now is if we're too impatient or we're too impulsive or we're too pushy and we're getting angry or irritated too quickly in the house where we have Aries right now, because Saturn and Neptune are there. There's a retrograde dance going on with Neptune already, and the Aries is unresolved anger, passionate pursuits, and it's also about how we get into denial and we get into self-defeating patterns of behavior. So having said that, every single one of us hearing those words now has the formula to be able to not do self-punishment, self-defeating actions, or get locked into those patterns. You're listening to a voice that said, you have the keys, this is how you unlock it. Aries may show you where you're frustrated. Aries may show people that are envious or resentful of you. Instead of blaming them, shift the energy and go, listen, I wasn't always like this. I didn't always have this figured out. I mean, this is just how I do things now because, by God, I learned it the hard way. Yeah, you too. But if I can teach you anything, don't take as long as I did to get this stuff figured out. I'm flowing pretty good psychologically. I'm on my game spiritually now. Took long enough. Tested it long enough. Fell down, got up enough. Yeah, but when you get there, Joe, it's not an age thing. When you get there, that you have the mystical marriage of spirit, ain't nobody taking that away from you.
That's true.
Like the lion says in the Wizard of Oz, not nobody, not nothing, not no how. I love the lion in the Wizard of Oz. So that's Jupiter and Leo, and that's what's coming up the next time that we talk. It's going to be the lion thought he was a coward and actually had the courage within him all along. Along. So we're coming into courage, but we got to deal with whatever made the scarecrow be afraid of the witch throwing fire at him, or the lion thinking it was the chicken. Yeah.
Are you ready to take a phone call or two, Mary? I have 531 area code. Looks like Nebraska. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
531. What's up, y'all? How's it going?
What's up,
it's
brother?
Brian.
Long time no hear.
How are you?
Tribal brother.
A little bird told me to check in tonight. So long time. Little talk.
How you been, man? What's on your mind?
Tell the audience.
Tell the audience what?
Your sign. You're calling in, and my sign is?
Well, tonight I'm calling in, and I'm a Taurus. I'm not going with that Gemini business you threw out. Dang it. That was hot. I don't feel that way at all. Maybe a couple months ago, I think I'm ahead of time, I think, is what's really going on there.
Of course you are, man. You always have been.
Yeah, he's a time bender. He's a shapeshifter, and time does not cage him.
I was thinking earlier, before you messaged me, I was wiped out internet. I opened up I'd been like a week without internet, which is weird if you've never done that, right? So dependent on everything. But Yeah, I finally got internet up today. I was opening up my phone, hooking everything back up, getting everything going, and I'm like, I got no messages. I got nothing. It's just been dead silence. But then, poof, the first noise on my phone is an email from Mary. So, hey, thank
About
you
the
for
show?
that. And thanks. Oh, about the show. Thank you both for everything and always and all the business. I was going over it a little while ago. It's been a minute, but it's been a long while. You know,
Yeah.
it's been a long while.
Good
The
deal.
strain, the drain, and the gain. It's all happening at once.
You know,
it
it's
is. It's like, whoa.
it's weird to see it all from this point of view compared to what 2017, 2018, where we jumped in. Yeah, it's
Yep.
weird to look at all of it and just go, "Yep, what you just said." And for the record, I guess this is really why I'm calling, just for kudos to Mary. She was sending me some things, and she sent me this nice tower card photo.
This nice
picture
tower
of a
card.
tree getting. Oh yeah, she sent it. It was huge when I opened it up, and it was probably what 2-3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, right? Okay, so just for everybody listening, if you're not, all in here, this has happened too many times for me to report, but I'll give you this one. 3 weeks after that dropped in my mailbox, and I'm going, no, because I knew what it was. And it wasn't a tower, it was a tree. And I mean, it was blowing. It was blowing sparks, and it was on fire. And I'm like, oh, shit, thanks. And at the time, I'm thinking, I kind of think something's coming anyway, but you know what? I know how this goes. It ain't no big deal, right? We all know what we need to do, and so whatever. Yeah, bring it on. I don't care. What else you got? Anyway, man, like last Wednesday night, that big system rolled through here and just knocked the pardon my French, knocked the shit out of a 95-year-old maple tree and just dumped it right on my house.
Oh man!
And just pulverized everything. I mean, and I was telling Mary, I was gonna pull it. I was gonna pull it. You know how much it is to pull a tree these days.
It's a
I don't
lot,
know what
man.
y'all do down there.
It's a lot.
Man, I'm looking at like $12K.
Yeah.
Just to drop it.
There
Anyway,
are tower cards, by the way, that have literal like lightning striking trees and having them falling over. I've seen those cards. So
that's the one I got. It was HD, 4K, ultra high def. Man.
Oh man,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
looked beautiful. It looked no. It looked beautiful, and I know with the way all this is rolling, it's going to be like really sweet. Yep. But absolutely. I'm just saying, the blast of it was just like when you hear stuff cracking and popping and breaking, and you're just looking at it going, nah, it's because she's going to make it. She's going to make it. It's going to be fine. And then, boom, lightning. Yeah. And then hail. After it, too, on top of it. Everything. Give it. I was standing out there going, let's go. I'm Lieutenant Dan,
You call
like
this a
screaming
storm?
at the... Well, yeah, this ain't no stuff. Yeah. Anyway. So she called it, man. She called it like 3 weeks ahead of time. That was a good one. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
that's
preparing me.
Good validation, but I don't know what to say. I mean, what's coming next is the good stuff, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Lightning in the tree. The lightning in the tree. The tree's the antenna.
The bad part is that's a tree where I've been laying tobacco for 3 decades. That's a tree that has been my bunnies in my yard lay under for shade. That's a tree that, man, like a wood duck gave birth in the tree like in the spring, and there were like I think 14, 15 ducklings, that came out of it. Luckily, they were all gone and everything, but. Yeah, it's just it's not even a man, it's your chicken story, it's like everything just shows up because of that tree, and now I'm gonna have to yank it, and I'm just like, dang it,
Yeah.
that tree.
Here's the thing.
I've
Here's
known
the
that
thing.
tree since '83.
Now the walking stick and now the magic wand comes from that tree. And it's the ancestral enlightenment of that tree. And the hell yeah, that brought the old part of the tree down, and the baby's coming, the shoots and that tree's been there 95 years. Don't tell me come next spring there's not going to be what they call when you take a tree class, like horticulture class, oh, there'll be new little shooters that come out, and I'm like, what are they called? Yeah, the little shoots. You got to get those little suckers in those little shoots. And I told Brian, I see it coming back again, but it's just like it shed its old skin, like the snake coming out of the egg, or like getting a haircut. It's just like, man, I hate to do this to you, but I'm a little tired, and I need to renew myself, like the spontaneous combustion of the phoenix. In the first Harry Potter movie, when Dumbledore, the wizard, Harry Potter, holy shit, because the bird caught on fire, and Dumbledore goes, oh, he'll be back in a minute. It's just so nonchalant. So I can see you out there, Brian, going, yeah, bring it. Brad, yeah, it's not a storm. Go ahead. What you got?
Just hang out with us, Brian. Take the rest of these calls, man. You want to hang out and take these calls with us?
Sure, I'll hang out if you want me. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you got a question.
Me too.
Do you got a main question for Mary? Because we don't want to miss that.
No. I'm good. I think I got my message loud and clear. I'm still when I get out of the sticks here, I'll check back. I'll check back.
If you are waiting on the line, I will get to you. Let's go to 321. Looks like Florida here. 321 area code.
Hi, Mary.
You're on the
Hi,
air.
Joe. It's Corey.
Hey, what's up, Corey?
Hi, it's Corey.
Hello,
Hi.
Corey.
Hi.
And Brian.
Blessings.
You know what,
Hey,
Mary?
Corey.
I'm gonna let you figure it out. Hi.
What's on your mind?
You gotta wing it, Mary. You're really good at that.
Thank you. Winging a prayer, darling. Winging a prayer. Aren't you Pisces? Don't I remember that you're Pisces?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, this is dynamic for you. I like Pisces can handle the multiplicity of things. They'd like to have some settled things, but I feel like that this whole Gemini, Mars, Uranus, it's just like Pisces is used to going, yep, I kind of felt it was going to be like that, and then it spun around and went 180 degrees. So you know what? Mahalo, peace out, I'm going. So I feel like there's some things that are going to be stabilizing in your personal preference dynamic of your intimate private life. And I feel like part of that is because you don't need it like you once did. Does that make sense?
Good.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that laugh.
It's exactly
You don't need
what I'm
it.
going
Are you
through right
saying that she was a little too thirsty before? Is that what you're saying? That's what the kids say nowadays.
No. This is my second time giving them a chance, and I probably shouldn't have done that at all.
Yeah,
But,
we've all done that. We were just talking about that, actually. Yeah.
We were. Brian Shaman, talk to her. Brian Shaman, go ahead, tree man. Go ahead.
I'm just listening to y'all. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's all right.
Brian,
Okay.
no, the Gemini that he's in denial of just tonight. The Gemini part of him has been through so much electrified
Exhausted.
alchemy.
Actually, what was going down there was when you were saying you're Pisces. I was just saying, laying down some prayer for you. So that's where that was.
Nice.
Going. I kind of
Thank
missed
you.
the conversation. I was in my mind, in my heart.
You were praying for me for being a Pisces.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Pisces
Not in a bad
are good at picking up on all that juju. So
Oh
Deep.
yeah.
Very deep.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No, I called this. I seen it coming before he's seen it coming, probably.
Like, here you go, buddy. Here's your marching orders.
I was already healed by the time it happened.
Perfect. Well,
it's already
okay.
done.
So
It's
to that
already
point-
done.
Yep. There's the prayer. There's the peace prayer. The peace that passeth all understanding.
Shamans.
Because your words were, I gave him a second chance, so this is the second time. Probably shouldn't have done that. No, you just
No,
right
you
then with
should've.
you and Brian and Joe, you just then validated that I felt it. I knew it was coming before it did, but yet you let the actual theater dance experience, soul song, got to happen.
I let it go
You
so
both benefited.
long, and not because I had to, but because I wanted to see how far it would go.
You know
Okay.
what?
That's good. That's a
I always give a lot of respect to people that are willing to go extra, to put their heart on the line for people, to give people the benefit of the doubt, that kind of thing. Because those kind of hearts, you don't lose that. Because those kind of hearts, you know, you're going to meet somebody that deserves that kind of heart from you, and you don't.
I know.
And
I'm so old already. Better happen soon.
Yeah,
You're not old.
Yeah, no. No way. Like, everything gets better as you age.
You're wise.
Trust me on this one.
You're
What I'm
wise.
telling
It
you,
does.
everything gets better.
Don't believe in
It does get
don't
better.
believe in the number game for sure.
It gets better. Yeah.
Way
So
better.
you're the high priestess. You're the high priestess right now, Corey, and I feel like that you're reading the scroll and that card, the second card in the major triumphs. You're opening the scroll and looking at what was written and destined for you in the past, and as far as, if you will, karmic contracts, soul contracts, loop-de-loos, all those fancy words they use. But you're looking at the scroll and you're saying, you know what, this was written for me. I did the work, and now I'm not chained or limited to just be a writer. I'm going to direct it now. I mean, it's like around Pisces right now. It's like, I need to look at my part of directing this. Why don't I cut a scene? Why don't I lengthen that and shorten that? And what makes me think I need that in my story anymore? It was a teaching. It served its purpose, but I don't have to learn it through stress or pain or loss anymore. That doesn't have to be my medicine teacher. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm feeling.
There you go, Corey.
Good. I like hearing that.
For the record, though, it's a really good way to learn it really well the first time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I learned it really well the first time. The first time I learned how to heal myself and love myself.
That's perfect.
I learned a lot the first time. Yeah.
Okay. I think you both have learned, and you know, even if we have really a rough ride of a relationship and it's always stormy in some kind of way, at least Spirit had that person show up in our life to be that explosive, disruptive, bring it out of us because it couldn't come out of us if it wasn't living in there to some greater or lesser degree. And I still honor, don't have to tolerate them, but I still honor the people that triggered that or attempt to trigger that now. I say to them, that's your stuff. Yeah, that's your stuff. Thank you. I did learn the lesson, and thank you for that exclamation reminder of that. Yeah, don't do it again.
Right.
Because I've been here.
And I was probably a lesson or two for him, too. So we probably both needed some lessons.
100%. 100%. That's the brilliant part of it that you just recognized right there. As my friend Anthony over in the UK says that they do over there, it's kind of like their culture. When something hits the nail on the head, you'll go, brilliant.
Well,
brilliant. I love that.
Thanks for your call, Corey. Appreciate you calling in. Make sure you call us back.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you for your support.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we are going to let me see which one here, because they're both been waiting the same amount of time. I'll go to 318 Louisiana. You're on the air. Who we speaking with?
Well, it's Morgan from Louisiana.
Holy sheep shit. It's Morgan.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
I love the laughs tonight. Don't you guys?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Morgan.
How are you?
I love it.
I just put in my grandma's homemade salsa in my mouth as soon as you phoned me through, and it's spicy.
And that's cancer the crab. The food that nourishes the spirit. Absolutely. And what you say, Joe, my grandmother. Joe and I were messaging about mamas and grandmas and memas, you know, and it's not just the mother dynamic.
Yes.
It's the mother and her mother. You know, it's the grandmother and the mother that we have. Like we have our mother, and then there was her mother, and there's that ancestral. And I want to just say, not just generational curses, generational blessings. And I love it when I get to hear those stories from people. Yeah. That's and you're Leo. So what a year you have ahead, my dear. What a year you have ahead with Jupiter and Leo. Make hay while the sun is shining.
Yes, and my daughter's a Leo too. I don't remember if I told y'all that or not. She's a Leo as well.
Intense.
Oh,
That's intense.
yeah. And, listening to y'all's, the chat about tonight, like with cancer and stuff, it's been raining a ton here at home.
Mhm.
And so we've been sort of like caved in our shells here, and we're doing arts and crafts and all sorts of things like that. We went and stayed. We lost electricity last night, so we went and stayed with my grandmother last night, my memo.
My memo.
And yes, and she gave us jars of salsa this morning. But yeah, I don't have any questions or anything. I just wanted to say hello.
Oh, well, hey. How are you?
That's
Oh, hey. Hi, Grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if I told my memo to listen to this podcast, she'd send me to church on Sunday.
Yeah, you can't even say deviled eggs around in their house. You can't say, "Hey, can I have one of those deviled eggs?" Like they'll try to exercise you if you do that.
Wait, now, Joe, this is the Methodist grandma. That was the Baptist grandma.
Oh, all right. Well,
What did your grandma call them if they weren't? I mean, I grew up in Tennessee. It was Baptist. I mean, yeah, but my mama said one of them deviled eggs, and I'm like, what? I remember as a kid thinking, why are they the devil's eggs? No church did that to me. I'm like, what? Are they angel eggs? I mean, what?
That's what they said. They were angel eggs. In this house, these are
Angel eggs.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
I was this many years old when I learned that, and I'm grateful. The angel eggs. I'm okay. I'm gonna make some angel eggs. I love that. Yeah, and my parents
It's
were
like the
strict
church
Baptist
lady.
church in Tennessee. Oh yeah.
Could
Oh
it
yeah.
be
Let me
Satan?
tell you, at 9 years old. At 9 years old, I was getting glared at because I wasn't saved yet. I hadn't gone down to the church and testified, and I wasn't saved, and I was getting them looks, not just from my relatives. Mama was easy. She was just like, I tell you what, the Holy Spirit will come into you, and you'll get your ass up, and you'll know. I bet the Holy Spirit will come into you, and that fire will get you. It did on the day I didn't expect, and I've been grateful and blessed ever since. Absolutely, amen.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and
thank
calling
y'all.
in too, and I appreciate you telling us your story in the last podcast. It got a lot of good feedback, so thank you.
Yeah,
Angel eggs.
absolutely. And look, I was going to tell you too, real quick, Joe. A lot of my friends reached out and said, "We've experienced this. We just didn't know we didn't have a word for it, like the sleep paralysis." I was like, "Well, it's a real, yeah." So, podcast connects, and talking about things, even the woo-woo shit, it connects. And so thank y'all.
It heals. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Bye, y'all. I'm going to go eat some more salsa.
All right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Cancer rules the stomach. Yeah, get full.
Bye, Morgan.
Bye, guys. Thank y'all.
That's a great laugh.
Yeah, she did a good show too, man. We had fun. She talked about she had a sleep paralysis, and then she had an out of body experience. She grew up like terrified, sleep paralysis in a family where she was telling people what's happening. Then they tried to exorcise the demons out of her, and if you missed that podcast, you should definitely listen to it. It's a pretty good story. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see, 801 area code. You're on the air with me, Mary, and Brian. Who are we speaking with?
Yeah.
Hi, Mary, Brian, and Joe. This is Utah. How are you?
How you doing?
Oh,
hey, Utah.
Hey.
What's on your mind?
That's a great name.
I also needed to say very grateful thank you to what arrived in my post box from Miss Mary as well.
Well, good.
That's you. Good. You're welcome. I like tithing. It's fun.
Oh,
I like it.
Well, I'm waiting for. I've seen the rabbits. I'm waiting for the ravens to arrive.
Oh, ravens, high magic. Love the ravens. Every time I go out west, around here it's the crows. And out west, it's the ravens. I absolutely love my blackbirds. I think the Beatles did a little dance on that, didn't they, Brian? Blackbirds singing in the edge of the night. Yeah, I like my blackbirds. Like my blackbirds a lot. Mm-hmm. Love it. So, are we picking a card? Thank you for the validation. Are we picking a card for you?
Yes, please, Mary. Let's do that.
All right, I'm going to pick the card, and I'm going to make a statement, and then I want my brother Bryant and my tribal brother Joe to make a statement on it too. So I've warned you two men. So
Oh,
here we
boy.
go. I've got the spiraled all around,
Okay.
and Three of Pentacles. So I'm going to just say this. A lot of things are in the works, and I like it.
That's good. I guess, right?
Go, Joe. Go.
You want
Three
me
of
to
Pentacles,
go?
Three of Diamonds, Three of Pentacles.
Well, I relate to Three of Pentacles to, the three on the Tree of Life. So I think, like what Mary's saying, a lot of things are in the works, but it's coming from a deeper place of stability and regulation, like things that need to be done, but on a deep level. Like things that should have been getting done for a while, but it is motherly. It's just more Saturnian motherly than it is moon motherly, but it's all the same,
Nice. Nice.
Bam.
It
I
all
don't know
comes
my
from the
Three of
same
Pentacles
place.
very well.
Go
I
ahead,
don't know.
Brian.
I don't know my Three of Pentacles very well, but I think usually when I go with threes, I just go. Joe said the top of the tree. I'm just going to go. Yeah, just Trinity.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Trinity
Sure.
all the way. That's
Merkabah.
really all there.
Yep.
Right.
Merkabah. And to Joe's point, the Pentacles, the way I learned tarot and teach tarot, the Pentacles are the earth element. So he talked about the resources and the security and the Saturnian. So the earth element right now. So earth element for the audience, Taurus is the first earth sign. Virgo is the second, and then Capricorn finishes that off. So the trinity of the earth dynamic, diamonds and regular cards, has to do with the earth element. So it's tangible. It's like I can touch it. I can feel it. It's an investment, and it's paying off. And I'm looking at what's a debit and what's a credit karmically, and I'm feeling good. It's Michael Bublé again, Joe.
Yeah, the three, like I relate to the three to the tarot. So, or the tree, I always relate it to the Tree of Life and the spheres on the tree. And the Three of Pentacles relates to the, Bina in Asaya, or the third sphere in Asaya, or the Earth tree. And it comes from a Saturnian power, which is the Great Mother, right? So there's the Moon Mother and the Great Mother. There's actually three versions: the Great Mother, the Moon Mother, and then the Princess. All right, but this is coming from the Great Mother. Stuff that like rules, boundaries, things that really need to be taken care of and set for life.
Well, I hope Georgiana got to hear Brian in the tree experience, because the oracle spoke to Brian, the medicine tree, because Georgiana likes the medicine wheel and all that. The medicine tree literally erupted, took the hit, took the enlightenment, and came upon his Cancerian shelter, the house. Was your mother there too, Brian? Was she there too?
Yeah, she was out, but yeah, she caught it.
Wow.
Wow.
And Tracy needed antennas. So that medicine tree really got everybody's attention in its exodus, in its exit, rebirth, ascension. So the death of the old skin, the bark, the leaves, the shelter in the storms for many of the furries and the winged ones and all that. So the medicine tree said, hate to leave you, got to transform, but I never left you in the first place because we've always walked together.
Man.
Oh, man.
Also, there's another thing with threes though. Usually when they start popping, I start looking for derivatives of three. I start looking for sixes and nines. I mean, I would keep that on your radar. I would put that on your radar.
Get low.
Absolutely.
It usually is a starting point, and it will double and then triple, depending on, I think, your behavior or non-behavior in the situation that's in front of you.
Well, in the
kinda how I
last
try to
couple
work
of,
it.
the last 8 or 9 days, numbers in sequence have been popping up for me all over the place.
Then all the more. If you're getting that, then yeah, it could just be starting a little sequence for you.
And I am 66 and I'm the Scorpio. So
Lord.
this is really good news for me. I'm just keeping
maybe
my head down.
just move to the 9. just move to the
That's
9.
right.
That's what I would
Yep,
do.
there you go. Breathing and
Don't
smoke.
need to
Holy
wait.
smoke. Yep.
You got
Holy
the
smoke.
the
Things
regular
really-
three of pentacles there with you, Mary, from the Rider Waite deck. It usually has a black background for most of the time.
And
It'll
it's got
have a
the
black
stained glass
background.
coins up there. There's a meeting.
Yeah.
There's a meeting. It's the artist and whoever hired the artist and are the architect of the plan. So it's like a work in progress. There's a Trinity. For me, of course, being born in Tennessee, the first Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So I and the capstone of the pyramid, Merkabah, the living soul body on the move, the chariot, Cancer's card in the tarot. So this is like movement, the sphinxes and the lion bodies. And, I am always on the move. I will not get burdened by needing to get stagnant with all my stuff, or this point in time is the only and the most important point in time. I'm on the move. I'm one with spirit, and I want the dynamic of the light to breathe me, to direct me, because then I know I accept the blessings. It's a reception thing. It's a reception time. There's graduations, there's school starting, and then there's receptions and celebrations. So there's a reception going on of something that is a celebratory event as we come into Jupiter and the Sun in Leo. So we're coming into a time of not rushing past the celebrations and the innovations after the storms. The antenna medicine tree, the medicine tree took a hit and said, Bryant, this looks funny, but your mom's out, you're safe, you're the one that can come out and micromanage this big medicine ceremony. You got a living tarot oracle card here that's going on, and you're like, and his whole thing was, I love you. You're my medicine tree. Oh my God. I want you to be okay. You can do it. You can do it. It's like in that movie with Adam Sandler, right? You can do it. So it's like the medicine tree said, you're going to have to accept not being too attached to me because I'm coming at you in a whole bunch of new forms. Yeah, I'm still alive. I'm just going to let you find me in some different ways. I'm not limited to just being this tree.
That's what we were talking about earlier, right? I mean, shedding all of this business out and just let it happen right in front of you instead of,
Yeah. Thank you for calling, Utah. Appreciate your phone call. Call us back. Let us know what happens. This is good stuff, man. The phones have been on fire. Like I like. When was the last time that we all three got to talk? It's been a minute.
You know what? I don't think we all three have been on the call at the same time, other than when I've called in the past.
Well, we got these fancy phone systems.
About that a minute ago.
No,
Anyway, it's divine.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's the Trinity. It's the three of us.
You got the fancy phone systems, and I'm glad to hear you, man. I'm glad you got to hang out with us too, because like I missed you, man. I ain't heard from you in a while. Some people and it's there's been a few people that have come back around. Hell, Night Stalker came back around the other day. These guys used to talk to me all night. When I was traveling around the country trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the station and my life, and they were good friends to me.
I remember that.
Yeah, really good friends.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I think the last time we talked, we were talking about Rohan. And,
Rohan.
and all that, but that's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing with Chance. Taking on romance.
Right.
Well,
letting it flow.
What's the final message for, what is the drive it home, Mary? What's the final thing you want to tell everybody here?
To thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. You're all you've got, and so much more, so much more. And it's time that we, with open eyes, both on the innerverse and as we externally project our visions outwardly, we're worth it. We are an investment. We are wealthy. We are healthy. And we invite the wisdom of the divine alignments. May it be in peace, always in harmony, without loss. And may we accept and receive the higher octaves and frequencies of the all that is. Amen. Aho.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Be true to yourselves all the way down to your childhood heart, man. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We're going to roll out. Brian, you want to say bye to everybody?
Please.
Yep.
Please do, man.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody. It's good night, y'all.
It's really good to hear from you again, man.
Thank you, Brian.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Kind of